Hello everyone, it's MonkeyBoyPlays and I'm back with another video. I know it's been a while, but today we have a very important video. Very important because as the thumbnail says, if you are a teenager and you watch social media or use social media daily, you are going to want to watch this video because this is important. Now, today I'm going to be talking about COPPA 2.0, Children's Online Privacy and Protection Act. And I'm going to be watching these two KreekCraft videos, and then I will be talking about the stuff that he doesn't say that is also really, really bad. So send this to anyone in Congress, any teenager, anyone, because this is the way that we get the government to not pass this. Getting our voices heard and making sure they know how bad this really is, because this is really bad. Anyways, KreekCraft's video.
So us Roblox YouTubers might have to quit. Like, literally, we might not be able to make YouTube videos anymore. All of us. All of your favorite Roblox YouTubers. And not just us, either. Not just Roblox creators, Minecraft creators, Fortnite creators, TikTokers. Doesn't matter. Now, look, I've never shied away from
Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, a lot of others.
very serious topics, even when they get a little bit political, but this is going to be a very serious video, okay? And you see, it has to do with this tweet right here by David Baszucki, the CEO of Roblox. He tweeted, and actually Roblox retweeted it. They reposted it here, and it says, "I'm optimistic about the future of online safety. Here, I share why Roblox is supporting the Take It Down Act and COPPA 2.0. Now, if you've been watching the channel for a long time, you might recognize the name COPPA, and you're like, oh no, here we go. Yeah, you might recognize this right here. We'll get to this in a second. But anyway, David Baszucki, Roblox here, they put up an article that says it's time for Congress to join the industry in keeping kids safe online. Kind of ironic coming from Roblox, but you know, we'll get to that. Now, I'm not going to read through this entire article, but let me summarize this for you. Basically, there are two new laws in the US government right now that, if passed, would have a really big effect on children online. The first one is called the Take It Down Act. And the purpose of the Take It Down Act is actually quite simple. And honestly, this one's fine. I agree with this one. I think this one's great. What this law does is it makes it so if inappropriate content is shared to the internet, well, websites have 48 hours to take that content down. This is good. That's great for kids. The Take It Down Act isn't the problem. The problem is this right here, this entire paragraph here. Now, let me just go ahead and read this paragraph for you, okay? This is from David Baszucki and Roblox, all right? Providing data transparency and protection for kids and teens is the second area where Congress should act. More than 27 years ago, COPPA, I'll explain what that is here in a second, created early guidelines for what data websites can collect. So much has changed since then. COPPA 2.0 seeks to strengthen and update privacy protections for young people, especially regarding advertising and protecting teenagers' data. Blah, 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 blah. We are asking leaders in Congress to work together to pass COPPA 2.0. Now, what is COPPA? Well, this is the problem. So, COPPA stands for the Children's Online Privacy and Protection Rule, or Act.
Just like I said.
C.O.P.P.A, COPPA. Now, this law isn't new. COPPA's actually been around since like 1996 or 1997. Back when Bill Clinton was president, he's the one that actually made this into law. And the purpose of COPPA is actually pretty simple. The law says if you are under 13, then websites and companies can't collect your personal data. It can't use your personal data to serve you targeted advertisements or to serve you recommended ads or games or videos or whatever it may be. That's why whenever you go to create an account on like a website or game, you have to be at least 13 years old. That's why. It's because of COPPA. And that's why Roblox, you know, under 13 accounts have so many restrictions. It's because of COPPA.
Keep in mind of that, because that is going to be important to remember. Future Monkey Boy here. I forgot to tell you why the websites were bad. So, as he said, from 13 to 16. So instead of needing a slider to do to make sure you're 13, you're going to need to make sure you upload your ID or driver's license to almost every website. Yeah.
Of COPPA. Now, like I mentioned, if you've been watching the channel long enough, you might recognize videos like these right here. I uploaded in 2019. This was a really big deal. Yes, I'm wearing a suit there. Check these out right here. COPPA, 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 COPPA. You see, back in 2019, Google and YouTube actually got sued for $170 million because they were violating the COPPA law. Basically, what happened is in 2019, there was a bunch of content on YouTube that was, for kids, aimed at kids that kids were seeing, that were being recommended to them, that were, not appropriate for their age. If you guys remember the Elsa and Spider-Man situation, well, you might remember what I'm talking about. But anyway, the US government sued YouTube and was like, guys, you need to fix this. And that's why whenever we upload a YouTube video today, as a YouTuber, we have to choose, is it made for kids or is it not made for kids?
I'm going to be talking about this after both videos. This is very, very important. I'm going to be going a lot broader than about this.
And for those who don't know, a video being made for kids basically means that the video was made for people exclusively under 13. Things like CoComelon, for example. And back in 2019, a lot of Roblox YouTubers were really concerned because obviously Roblox has a child audience. A lot of games do, right? Minecraft has a big child audience. Fortnite has a big child audience. Shoot, Grand Theft Auto has a big child audience. And so a bunch of YouTubers were worried in 2019, hey, we might have to stop making videos because of this. Because if you don't know, if you set the option to made for kids, if your videos are made for kids, then it does a few things. Number one, it disables targeted advertising on your videos, which ads are pretty much how you make money. So no ads, no money. Boom. There went all of our money. Number two, it stops your videos from being recommended in the YouTube algorithm. So your videos aren't making money. They're not getting ads, and your videos aren't being recommended anymore. So your channel is basically dead. Congratulations. Selecting made for kids also puts your videos on YouTube Kids. And it does stuff like disable the comment sections. If you're under 13, you can't type in the comment sections. Comment sections are completely turned off. I don't even think you can like or dislike a video. Now, luckily, we all survived, but here's the problem. COPPA 2.0, or the Children's Online Privacy and Protection Act 2.0, basically does the exact same thing as the first one does, except it extends the age limit from 13 to anyone under 17, right there. Meaning that if you are under 17, the videos you watch, the content you watch online will no longer have targeted ads, which is how creators make their money. So the videos you watch, the creators you watch, they're no longer making money. If you are under 17, then you will no longer have videos recommended to you. You know how on YouTube and TikTok and Twitter, it shows you content that you like? So like, for example, if you're really big into Roblox, TikTok will show you a bunch of TikToks about Roblox. If you watch a lot of Roblox YouTube videos, YouTube will recommend you Roblox videos. That will not happen anymore. The recommendation algorithm will be gone. You will just be getting random content. If this bill passes and you are under the age of 17, you will no longer be able to type in comment sections online. That's not a joke. You will not be able to leave a comment on YouTube videos. TikTok comments, gone. Twitter's, actually, you won't be able to tweet at all, probably. That'll be gone. The TLDR here,
Instagram, Snapchat, every single social media,
is YouTube Kids will no longer be for kids under 13. It will now be for everyone under 17. If you are under 17, this is what your YouTube will look like. This is what your TikTok will look like. This is what your Twitter will look like. You will be YouTube Kidified. And all of your favorite creators, whether they're Roblox, Minecraft, Fortnite, they won't be able to earn money anymore. Our videos won't get recommended anymore. That'll be it. We'll be done. we'll have to, find a job elsewhere. Now, look, I'm all for protecting kids online. For sure, kids need better protection online. But you're telling me that a 16-year-old who can drive, who can get a job, is not able to leave a comment on a YouTube video? You're telling me a 16-year-old who can drive, who can get a job, won't be able to be recommended TikToks? Like, this seems a little absurd at this point, doesn't it? Like, at some point, the problem stops
Very
being the
absurd.
US government and it starts being the parent. Like, if you have a 16-year-old kid and they're doing something bad online, then at that point, it's your fault. You failed. Okay? You need to have a conversation with your kid and you need to be more included in their life. You need to be a bigger part of their life because something is wrong here. The US government should not be able to tell 16-year-olds what they can and can't watch. The parents can. That's the parents' job. I don't want the president to tell me what I can and can't watch online. So basically, if you are under the age of 17, this bill will affect you greatly. And honestly, it feels kind of like a slap in the face to see Roblox pushing this so hard. Like, Roblox just kind of threw all of us creators just right under the bus. There it is. Have fun. The same Roblox, by the way, that on the front page of their game on the App Store, they were promoting Meep City parties. You know, Meep City, the game that is like most famous on Roblox for inappropriate content for minors. Right there. Boom. Look at that.
Yeah.
The same Roblox that allows avatars like this
Okay,
on the
yeah,
platform. Yes. Avatars that you can't even show on Twin Simulator despite people complaining about them. Look at this. Look at this right here. Look at this. Look at this. Dirt.
Just
We all
cut
know what
this part
happens
out.
in this game. Shoot. Look at the
Yeah.
icon for the game. Roblox, with all due respect, you are in no position to be talking about child safety. So, what's going to happen now? Well, if the law passes and gets signed into law by the president, then I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe all of us Roblox YouTubers are going to start swearing in our videos, and we're going to start dropping F-bombs like, yeah, adult Roblox content, let's go. And look, just like I did years ago, back in 2019, whenever I went to the United States Congress and I spoke in front of Congress on live TV talking about this, just like I did then, I will do it again now. So if anyone at the US government, if any House representatives, if any senators are watching this video, I will fly to Washington, D.C. I will have this conversation with you, okay? I did it in 2019. I will do it again now. The reality is Congress and the U.S. government is made up of 70-year-old dudes that don't really know how to even update their Facebook account. So putting them in charge of how the internet works and how the internet functions is a little bit weird in my opinion. No offense to any US representatives or senators watching this video. Reach out to me, tweet me. I will fly to Washington, D.C. I will have this conversation with you. Watching this video, I will fly to the White House. I will have this conversation with you. I don't care who it is. I will have the conversation. YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. It's all going to change. It's all going to be different. It's going to be. It's going to go. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. If this law passes. So let's not let that happen.
Okay, and that was the first video. Now the second video, he talks to a lawyer. And this video, he's telling us what the lawyer told him. Because the lawyers, you know what lawyers do. Yeah. Yeah. Lawyers can read stuff better and understand it better. So this is what the lawyer said.
Okay, so I promised you guys I'd make a follow-up video on the COPPA 2.0 situation as soon as I have it. Well, I've talked to a lawyer, asked the lawyer some questions regarding the situation, regarding the bill, COPPA 2.0, and I have an update, so here we are. Now, real quick, I want to get you, and basically what that bill does is it protects kids under the age of 13 on the internet, and it does that in a few different ways. The main way, though, is it bans companies, website services from collecting personal data on anyone under the age of 13, which is why whenever you sign up to a website or service or game or whatever, you typically have to be at least 13 to make an account, right? That's just one of the complexities of the bill. And then, of course, if you're a YouTuber, back in 2019, 2020, we had the entire COPPA situation on YouTube. Basically, what happened is the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, which is part of the U.S. government, found out that YouTube was in violation of these COPPA policies, right? And YouTube
That's what happened in 2019 when he went to Congress in the last video that you saw.
And Google got fined, like, I think it was like 150, 160, $70 million, a lot of money. And they had to pay all this money to the US government for violating these policies. And as a result, YouTube had to implement new rules. So if you're a YouTuber, every time you upload a video or whatever, have you, you have to choose, is that video, is that new piece of content made for kids? Is it not made for kids? Basically, made for kids is content under 13. Not made for kids is content above 13, right? If you're a YouTuber, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so what happens if your content is made for kids? Well, under 13 content faces
Saw that
targeted
already.
advertisements are disabled, right? We'll talk more about that here in a second. How YouTube recommends the video is messy, right? Essentially, most YouTubers try to avoid having a video set to made for kids as much as they possibly can because it pretty much just destroys the integrity of the video and that video is kind of just dead in the water, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't get recommended as much. People can't comment, people can't engage with it. It doesn't have targeted advertisements, etc. Now, targeted advertisements versus contextual advertisements. What's the difference? Well, most advertisements you see on YouTube, you click on a video, you see an ad, it's a targeted advertisement, right? Basically, YouTube is looking at things you like, what other videos you watch. Basically, it takes your data and it's like, hey, you like video games, so I'm going to show you video games or ads about video games, right? Or you like Barbie dolls, so I'm going to show you ads about Barbie dolls, right? Contextual advertisements are more like, um, best way to describe it, Saturday morning cartoons, right? It's the ads that play,
Mm-hmm.
every 5 minutes of a TV show. Everyone sees them. They're not targeted specifically necessarily to your needs and wants. Everyone just kind of sees them. They're contextual, right? Now, the reason why YouTubers hate Made for Kids is it disables targeted advertisements and you only get contextual ads. So, targeted ads, which is how most YouTubers earn most of their paycheck, is ads, right? As a
Mm-hmm.
streamer, for me, it's a little bit different because I have donations and memberships and, merch and stuff. But a lot of YouTubers don't have that. So, it's mainly targeted advertisements, which is how most YouTubers earn their money. Now, if you don't have targeted advertisements and you're only getting contextual ads, well, contextual ads pay way, 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 way less. I was doing the math back in like 2019, 2020 when all this was going on. And I was looking at personally I think it was an 80% reduction in revenue, right? Some other YouTubers might be a little bit less. Some YouTubers might be a little bit more, right? But like 80% of my revenue just kind of gone like that overnight, right? That's what was at risk. And it's scary. It's a scary thing. Most YouTubers would not be able to afford that, right? Especially if you're a
Mm-hmm.
smaller YouTuber. Losing 80% of your paycheck, that might mean you're not eating food this month, or you're not paying your rent this month, et cetera, et cetera. Or you have to let go of these employees. You have to fire your
Or you have to quit the job completely. It would be if it needs to get to that.
editor, fire your thumbnail artist, whatever it may be, right? So that was the YouTube situation with COPPA. That's, you're caught up to speed now. COPPA 2.0, the difference is it's a new bill that adds on to the old bill, and it extends the age of protections from anyone under 13 to anyone 16 and under. Now, I've spoken to a lawyer on this, right? A lot of speculation, a lot of this and that, and rumors kind of going on with the bill. Here's basically what's going on. The bill just flat out bans targeted advertisements on anyone under 16. So if the audience of a video is under the age of 16, no targeted advertisements. Flat out ban, no ifs, ands, buts, nothing like that. Which is scary because when you think about it, a lot of YouTube content, most YouTube content could fall within that range, right? Fortnite is a 13 plus game. That is within that range, right? Fortnite videos could, hypothetically, under this new bill, not have targeted advertisements anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Minecraft videos, Roblox videos. Shoot, you could even make the argument that Grand Theft Auto has a large teenage audience, which, we know it does. Most people who are teenagers have played Grand Theft Auto. I guarantee you a lot of people who are going to buy GTA 6 when it comes out later this year, probably teenagers, right? So if they really wanted to, right? If the government really, 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 really wanted to, they could probably even make the argument that there's a bunch of teenagers watching GTA content, therefore GTA content isn't going to have targeted ads. No
Yeah.
targeted ads. huge reduction in YouTuber revenue, and a lot of YouTubers
And no more GTA YouTubers.
won't be able to do this anymore, right? No, that's not the only thing. That's not the only thing. Now, I say hypothetically here because the bill is, of course, not completely. It has to go back to the House of Representatives, and there's a whole like approval process. So like, it's not signed into law yet, right? Things can and will change here, but as it stands right now, this is where we're at. Okay. Now, the second thing, number two, is platforms, websites like YouTube, social media, whatever it may be, they would have to probably, I say probably because the bill is kind of a gray area here. The lawyer said it's kind of up to interpretation on how websites and services interpret this. But websites like YouTube would probably have to implement some sort of age verification service. If you're a Roblox player, you know probably exactly what I'm talking about, right? In order to access certain parts of the website or do certain things or get certain features, you have to upload your photo ID or your driver's license or your student card or whatever it may be to verify that you are the age that you say you are, right? Or take a photo of yourself and have like an AI, like analyze the photo and be like, yes, this person
Yeah.
is over the age of 16 or over the age of 18. No, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time on why I personally don't like those kinds of things. It feels very dystopian, right? It's kind of weird. But that might be the
Very weird.
situation that we're looking at, right? Like, hey, if you want targeted ads on YouTube, then you have to verify that you're over 16 or you have to be linked to a parent account. Or if you want to watch these kinds of videos, you have to, verify your age by uploading your ID or whatnot, right? It's a very scary situation. How does that impact YouTube? How does that impact YouTubers? I don't know. We don't know. But that's the situation that we're looking at right now, right? We could be seeing a ban on targeted advertisements, and we could be looking at a situation where, if you want to use YouTube and access, a lot of the site, you have to verify your age. Now, I see a lot of people in response to my previous videos and even here on Twitter saying, oh, Creek, aren't you for child safety, that kind of thing. And like, yeah, I am. Being able to protect children more on the internet is obviously a good thing, right? But I think there's good
Very
ways to
good
go
thing.
about it and there's bad ways to go about it, right? Having a system where you have to upload your ID, a federal that's personal information, right? Um,
Yeah.
Having a system where you have to upload photo ID, your driver's license to access and use this website or that service. It's like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? At some point, it's the parents' responsibility. You know what I mean? This is just my personal opinion at this point, but like at some point, it's the parents' responsibility. You know what I mean? Like if your kid is 16 years old, who can drive, by the way, if you're 16 years old, you can drive. Okay. In most places here in America, you can get a job at
Yeah.
16 years old. Okay. But for some reason, you have to upload your ID quite possibly in order to use YouTube. Like, tell me how that makes sense, right? Of course, that doesn't make sense, right? Like, there's some common sense ways that we could go about protecting kids online. I don't think flat out banning stuff like this and having the government kind of control what you can and can't watch is really the way to go about it, right? Now, obviously, I'm biased. It's my job on the line.
Yeah.
But this is how I feel. But that's the current situation with COPPA 2.0. That's what's going on, and I'm going to be meeting with another
Yup.
lawyer next week to possibly get even more information on the topic. But as it stands right now, this is where we are at.
Yup. Okay. Now, what I wanted to say about this.
So what's Roblox?
Okay. So, what I wanted to say about this. I want to touch on this part right here. No, set this channel as not made for kids. I almost never upload on content that's made for kids. Yes, set this channel for made for kids. I mostly upload content that's made for kids. This makes it so that it automatically sets it for not made for kids or made for kids. But, and here's a big problem. Even if you set it for above 13, in the process of making videos, YouTube goes through the whole video and makes sure itself that it's over 13, which is a good thing, obviously. You don't want like someone lying that it's over 13 and is not over 13. That's a good thing. Yeah. But with over 17, all Roblox family friendly YouTubers gone. All Minecraft family friendly YouTubers gone. All GTA probably gone. All Fortnite. All any game that's family friendly. Even, yes, I'm a nerd, I know. Even teachers, they use like educational videos. Those are family friendly. Gone. It's like, and if you want to get out of YouTube Kids, if what I if the age verification thing is correct, where you have to use an ID, you might have to use your driver's license or ID to even get out of YouTube Kids, which is stupid. Absolutely stupid. And as someone who has been watching a lot of family-friendly YouTubers over my 10 years, not something I should brag about, but it has been about 10 years. This is bad. And the reason why I said any teen is because, like KreekCraft said, this doesn't just apply to YouTube. This applies to Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Roblox, any social media. Literally anything. If you are under 16, you won't be able to comment, you won't be able to like, you won't be able to anything. This is bad. That's what I wanted to say about this. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I have a cool animation I hope I put there. And if you want more, you can click on this video or this video, or you can go on one of my friends' channels because they have pretty cool content too. And until next time, bye bye.